Coach, we saw DJ get 8 points there in the second half and kind of start, finding his stroke a bit. I guess just how big is it? We've seen the plus-minus numbers be so good for him. How big is it to kind of get him going a bit offensively?
Yeah, it's big. Him starting in the second half, just to try to jumpstart us, and then we ended the half so poorly. We thought we needed to make a slight change to see if we could alter it a little bit. But with him, it's his defense is usually on point. He's a great defensive rebounder. I wish he was a little better offensive rebounder. We had 0 assists and 3 turnovers tonight, but it's just shot selection. I'd rather have him shoot more threes, to be honest with you, rather than the pull-ups. I want to try to get his length downhill and get all the way to the rim, put the defense on their heels, or those catch and shoot rhythm threes that he made a couple of today, which is what we want him to do.
We'll go to Coach's right and DePaul in the front.
I asked Jimmy about this after the game. Obviously, when he transferred here, he had probably a different goal in mind of what his role was going to be. We told you out. What have you seen with Jimmy's mindset, knowing that he was going to have more responsibility early on this season?
That'd be for him more. I haven't changed. I haven't seen a big change in his mindset. He's been pretty businesslike since he's arrived. He's been there, done that kind of guy. There's some things we got to work on. He's not getting low enough in the post, and some guys that aren't as heavy as him are holding their own a little bit. We got to leverage it a little bit better. He missed a couple short hooks that I thought normally he would make, and he missed a couple free throws that we thought he'd put in as well. But he's logging more minutes, than he's probably used to. He probably didn't expect that. But he's certainly gaining confidence in the system, and our other players and our coaches are gaining confidence in him too.
We'll stay front row right with Justin.
Chris, you guys got Shaq back today. Just went into the decision to stick with Trey in the starting lineup there.
We were 2-0, and Trey was shooting the ball pretty well, so really wasn't much discussion about it.
And then to have a senior guard like Shaq coming off the bench, that at the end of the first half there, when they start coming back, he comes in, maybe settles things down with a 3. Just how much is a luxury to have a veteran guy like that coming in and being able to set things up? Yeah, it's almost to the point now where I'm cognizant of minutes a little bit, and who am I going to put in next, and who's the next sub, and we're going to have to work all that out. With the injury situation we've had, it wasn't as many decisions that we have to make in the game, but especially out front when we're fully healthy, we got lots of different options, and we've got to continue figuring that out as we go forward. But I thought Shaq looked comfortable out there. I knew he would. He'd love to see him knock down that open 3. Got to the paint a couple times. I thought there in the second half he had a couple chances to get his hands on balls that he normally does, and for whatever reason he didn't, but it was nice to have him back.
Second row middle with Benjamin.
You guys were real balanced offensively tonight. 12 players played, 11 scored. The only one who didn't was Stansbury, who just played the last minute or two. What does that say about the depth you have on this roster?
Yeah, it's something we talked about since the spring. We wanted to build our depth. We wanted to have more scoring/shooting than we had in our first season. We wanted to have options and bodies and different ways to play. And I think, you always want more, but I thought, we did a decent enough job to establish that. I never dreamt that we'd have the injuries that we've had, et cetera, to be able to have that tested so early, but we have. And it's been so far so good, and hopefully the silver lining, 6-8 weeks from now will be, how much deeper and with the quality of depth that we have because of all the experience and the minutes that some guys are getting that maybe they wouldn't have got if we didn't have the injuries.
Front row middle with David.
After North Alabama made a little close run at it there, the ball movement picked up, the defense picked up. Just seemed like everybody raised their attention, particularly guys like Cam and DJ and others who've been around this before.
Yeah, I thought Cam started out the second half casual. I didn't think he had the right frame of mind to start the second half for whatever reason. He didn't have his energy, didn't have his bite, and it affected us. He made some silly plays. He didn't get after the ball. He wasn't disruptive, and then he was, and the game changed. And we certainly had some words about it, and I'm glad that he responded. But we've got to respect everyone we play, and the players, the coaches, the programs, and I felt like we had a decent enough lead at halftime, but some of the guys weren't in the right mindset, which was disappointing. But I was glad to see them flip the switch a little bit.
front row left on the end with Tanner.
Coach, Andrew has 9 tonight. Do you see him kind of settling in a bit more now that you've got these 3 games under your belt?
Yeah, I think so. He's getting more comfortable on the court and, his new surroundings, new role. He hit a different role at Marshall, and he could shoot, almost any ball he wanted, and there was no consequences, where around here, that's not the situation. We're trying to take our best shot and work together on offense and, just take shots that make sense for us. And there's definitely an adjustment period. And then just the defensive standard that we have, he's gotten way better on that end. Tonight he had some good ones, but then he just wouldn't finish the play. Like, he guard him. In the last dribble, he would quit with it, and he's just got to finish, each slide or each closeout or each possession, whatever the case may is. But at least from where I sit, he just looks a lot more comfortable. And I think people are starting to see, he's not a shooter. He's a player. He's crafty. He knows how to play. He's really good in ball screens. He's got unbelievable finishes around the basket that we can't take any credit for.
Chris, we saw them, cut the lead there to 3 early in the second half, and you have those double techs, and it seemed like got a little fire in your team going there to close out the game. I guess, did you see it light a bit of a spark and the intensity go up a bit from your team?
Again, from where I sat, what stuck out to me was Cam Matthews. Just his on ball, he's got a deflection, he got a dunk, and I'm glad he did it, but I was really disappointed with the first 4 or 5 minutes until he flipped that switch, because the intensity wasn't there. We didn't come out of the locker room breathing fire. We came out of the locker room like the game was over, and certainly that's not what you're trying to do.
Danny P, go ahead.
Coach, now you go back on the road now and go up to the Hall of Fame Classic. Just what do you anticipate from that trip to Connecticut?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We need a day off. We'll end up playing 5 games in 12 days, and that's a lot. If you think about the regular season or the SEC season, you're playing twice a week, so do the math. And that's a lot of games to start, because we didn't start on opening day. We had a 2-game gap, so we're going to play 5 games in 12 days, and we don't have a lot of downtime once the game started with how our schedule unfolded. So fortunately, we have a complete day off tomorrow, which everybody needs. Everybody needs a day away from the grind and take care of their business, and get a little more refreshed, and then we'll have a couple days to prepare for 2 games back to back. But we're going to play for a championship. I'm sure every team that's in the tournament, the 4 teams that are there this year, will all have the same mindset. It's going to be great competition. I can't wait to get up there and see how we compete and see how we handle the neutral sites and the size, right? The size will be different. It'll be Power 5 type size, Power 5 players, and I'm looking forward to the experience.
Paul, to coach's right to wrap us up.
Maybe small sample size for you to comment on this, but last year you had a point of emphasis and talked about it a lot, the defensive rebounding. It's 3 games, but your early impressions of this team and their defensive rebounding?
I still don't know where we're at completely. I thought the last game we weren't very good. Today we were okay against Arizona State. I think we were pretty good, but it's definitely an emphasis, because if you look at it number-wise, we ended up not being a very good defensive rebounding team last year. Our first shot defense, our creating turnovers, turning defense into offense, our effective field goal percent, our overall efficiency was pretty good, but our defensive rebounding, was a negative, and that's something we pride ourselves on. So we really focused on that, and we're trying to get better at it, and I just believe that if we can get that shored up, we can be a better basketball team.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next
Appreciate
Tuesday.
it. Thank you.